Hi, I'm Hunter Laing. I work for Hunter Laing and Company, which is my family company. I work along with my brother Scott and my father Stuart, and we built and own and run Ardnahoe distillery on Islay. During the Facial this year, we have a lot of great things going on at the distillery. We have some fantastic music. We have food and drink and tastings. And the highlight, I think, will be a tasting held by the distillery manager, Fraser, me and my brother Scott, where we'll be trying the special festival bottling and a number of other different potentially future expressions coming from Ardnahoe. So the Islay Festival every year is such a special time, and it's really the highlight of the whisky calendar for us. It's an opportunity for us to really get together and meet people who really love Islay whiskey like we do, who are passionate about the whiskey and the island as well. It's a fantastic combination of visitors from the UK, from abroad, and of course locals from the island. We all get together, we have a fantastic time drinking, trying new things, exploring various distilleries, special bottlings, which are always fun. I think there's a real sense of camaraderie between the distilleries. I love it every year. I love meeting people who are maybe we know from social media, and we get the chance to meet in person and share a dram. There's always fantastic music, and even the weather somehow manages usually to be quite good, which is never guaranteed anywhere in Scotland. But we normally get a few days of sunshine during the festival. So absolutely not to be missed, and the highlight of the whisky calendar. It was particularly important for us to make an Islay single malt whisky because certainly our family history, my father learning how to make whisky at Bruichladdich all those decades ago. I myself actually spent a little bit of time some 20 years ago at Bruichladdich, and also the fact that Islay whisky itself is so well regarded, so well respected. There's a wonderful history of making whisky on Islay. There are so many fantastic, famous, wonderful bottlings of Islay whisky, which we all know and love, whether that's official bottlings or independent bottlings. Some of my favourite old malt cask bottlings, for example, have been from Ardbeg distillery. We have a great love at Hunter Laing Company for Port Ellen whisky, which was my grandfather's favourite Islay single malt. And he used to use a lot of it in his blends, and we're still fortunate to have stocks of Port Ellen whisky. So if anyone has been watching this has been fortunate enough to visit Islay, and I'm sure many people have, it's a magical place. It's a fantastic place. You get off the ferry or get off the plane and you see the street signs which have distillery names on them. Smell the peat smoke in the air. You see the peat cut drying at the side of the road. It's really a fantastic place to go to, and I still, no matter how often I go, I think it's fantastic every time I go there. I love that immersion in whisky culture, and really for us there was no other place that we would have built our own distillery. History of Ardnahoe began probably as far back as the 1960s, when my father Stuart was sent by my grandfather to Bruichladdich on Islay to work for 6 months and learn about how to make whisky and the culture of whisky and be immersed in that. And I think from then it became his dream to one day produce his own whisky on Islay. And eventually in 2016, we were able to move towards that dream and find the best spot on the island that we could in order to make whisky. We started to build Ardnahoe distillery in 2016 and early 2017, and then in October 2018 we finally distilled the first drops of Ardnahoe whisky, or Ardnahoe spirit, which became whisky 3 years later. And now in 2024 we're finally bringing the first bottling to market, the Ardnahoe inaugural release, which is 5 years old, bottled at 50% alcohol, of course without any colouring or chill filtration. The way we make whisky at Ardnahoe, we follow very much a traditional process. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We have a mill which is actually well over 100 years old. In the fermenting stage, we use wooden washbacks, which we think is quite important and adds a certain something to the process. Quite long fermentations of over 70 hours. And then we distill through, of course, traditional Scottish-made copper pot stills. And we use worm tub condensers, not the more modern shell and tube style, but traditional worm tub condensers. The only distillery on Islay presently that does that. And the spirit comes out in a beautifully textured, lovely oily spirit that has a lovely balance of traditional Islay peat smoke and a nice apple citrus fruitiness as well. So this year, 2024, we're releasing our first ever bottling from Ardnahoe, which is the inaugural release. And we always took the belief that we would let the whiskey tell us when it was ready to bottle. We didn't have an arbitrary age statement or a time in mind, and we were prepared to wait much longer. But I think around 6 months ago, maybe towards the end of last year, we felt that the whiskey was really showing signs, even at a still relatively young age, of maturity. The peat smoke starting to come through nice and strongly, but in balance with a lovely fruitiness, which we always wanted in the spirit. So we looked at the various cask types that we've had maturing. We're quite traditional in the sense that we use a lot of bourbon casks, and we think our spirit works very well with Oloroso style of sherry cask. Various ratios. We were seeing the flavors coming through, complementing each other wonderfully. The fruity spiciness of the sherry, the vanilla toffee notes of the bourbon casks, and of course enhancing and presenting the Ardnahoe spirit characteristic, which itself is quite fruity and which has that very, very typical distinctive Islay characteristic of the maritime peatiness, that nice leathery smokiness. So the process of starting your own distillery obviously isn't a particularly easy one. The first step is to find the right spot. You need a good water source. You need enough space to be able to build. We had the perfect location in terms of the water and the location, obviously on Islay, but the topography of the land meant it was quite difficult to build. First of all, there was a lot of earth moving, a lot of rock clearing that needed to be done to build the distillery. And then it takes obviously many months. And once all that's achieved, then you're still only at square one, because then you've got to make whiskey. And we were fortunate enough to find an excellent distillery manager. And we also were able to call on the services of my dad's friend, Jim McEwen, who stepped in as a consultant, kind of production director to start with. He helped us get off and running, helped us establish the character of the spirit, helped us achieve that balance of the fruitiness and the smokiness that we were looking for. So all of that came together to take this dream from what it was, a dream, through the years of construction and development into reality. And then 5 years later, after distilling the first drops, we've got this fantastic inaugural release of Ardnahoe. As we move forward with the Ardnahoe development, we're wanting to bring out more bottlings, of course, in the future. We're not in any rush. We're keeping to this ethos of letting the spirit tell us when it's ready. But towards the end of the summer, I think autumn time, we'll be able to release our core bottling. So once the inaugural has been distributed properly and has been tried, people have had a chance to try it, we'll then move into our core release, which again will, I can say, have the same specifications at bottling strength of 50% alcohol, of course, no chill filtration or colouring, and that will be available for some time. And then probably in 2025, we'll start to release one or two additional bottlings to complement that, so that we have a small core range available on the shelves.